Joining me now, Shay Bolooor, Chief Market Strategist at Futurum. Shay, great to have you on.
Thanks for having me.
So Shay, NVIDIA is out with earnings on Wednesday afternoon. What do you expect? Is this the quarter we find out whether NVIDIA's dominance is peaking?
I mean, let's first get to what's happened in the market ahead of NVIDIA's earnings, because what's happening in the past few weeks in the market is the anxiety around the Super Bowl of earnings. Can they keep delivering? Is this the possible end of the AI bubble? Is this the performance of the past 2 years? They're now asking the question, can they keep doing this, NVIDIA? Because Michael Burry's recent resurfacing on the spotlight on his put options against NVIDIA and Palantir has caused a lot of investors to kind of treat this upcoming earnings report from NVIDIA as, is this the end of the AI boom? From what we're hearing at Futurum, with all the CEOs we talked to, that the demand's still insatiable, is the timing of Michael Burry's trade was more on the disbelief of the grid, energy shortages, and the specific pockets of a bubble in the AI economy. Not really that the AI trade is over completely and the AI is a dud. Completely disagree with that notion. But now, NVIDIA's earnings this week is kind of more, it's over-indexed because of all the attention that Michael Burry caused the past couple weeks.
Okay, so a lot to break down there. I should note that NVIDIA shares are off about, 9%, 8% this month heading into this report, but still only, 12% away from all-time highs. NVIDIA has been beating expectations quarter after quarter. Are we reaching the point where even a beat, though, won't be good enough anymore?
I mean, heading into earnings, expectations are high, but we do find it realistic. I think the street already knows that NVIDIA's results will be strong. I think the question is whether enough this quarter will show new sustained demand or simply some revenue timing ahead of a Blackwell ramp. So all eyes will still be on the data center segment because that remains the NVIDIA engine. So if that number beats guidance, and analysts will be asking how much of it came from that little early deliveries versus actual new hyperscaler demand. The other metric is going to be margins. I think NVIDIA's guiding for 74% margins, and if it can hold or expand that level while shipping more systems, it does confirm that pricing and product mix are going to be strong, and that would be enough to communicate to shareholders that the stock will maintain its current value, which I think right now is at 180, 190. So it's all about the massive forward demand visibility, and I think that NVIDIA will deliver that.
If NVIDIA stumbles, though, even slightly this quarter, what's the first place investors will run? Or where is the first place?
I think you're going to... Yeah, I mean, I think you're kind of seeing some glimpses of that recently. A lot of the defense and healthcare sectors have been predominantly strong. I think the biotech sector is kind of under discussed right now. It's XBI is entering a brand new bull market after years of just kind of huddled down in the cave, just like seeing everyone else catch a re-rating, all the other industries getting the spotlight, but they've been consolidating for quite a bit, and now they're breaking out. So potentially there might be a rotation, but again, I think that the recent negative tone around AI spending and NVIDIA's growth has just been way overstated. I think that's, some people call it a slowdown. What we really anticipate is maybe the market's just catching its breath after an intense build-out phase. I mean, NVIDIA has pulled the entire industry forward so quickly that the rest of the ecosystem is just trying to adjust and keep up. So I think the important point will just be on this earnings report that supply remains limited, the real limitation, and the demand is still way above the supply, and that is going to prolong this AI rally. It's just going to take a breather potentially if it does disappoint.
Does NVIDIA still deserve to be the face of the AI boom, though? And do you think it's closer to the beginning of its dominance or the end of it?
It's a great question. I think what's being missed in the market is that NVIDIA is just, it's no longer a data center story. So a lot of the bears just highlight that data center, their margins are going to start eroding. There's a lot more competitors with the custom silicon chip. AMD's getting a seat at the table now, but I think what's under discussed is the autonomy and robotics opportunity that NVIDIA has through its Drive, Jetson, and Isaac platform. NVIDIA is just going to be moving intelligence from the AI cloud, which they're doing right now, into the real world machines. So the company is building the hardware and software that or power all the autonomous cars, the industrial robots, all these intelligent systems at the edge. So whenever you hear about Optimus, whenever you hear about Tesla's FSD, Waymo's, like NVIDIA will maintain being the picks and shovels for those secular growth themes. So we believe that that alone is going to be a multi-trillion-dollar opportunity that extends NVIDIA's AI infrastructure mode from digital to physical. And we strongly believe this will still maintain the biggest company in the world label, and probably will be the first company to $10 trillion when the AI cycle is over with.
So in that case, you would say it's closer to the beginning of its dominance than the end?
I'd say it's, yeah, if I had to pick an inning, fourth inning out of the 9-inning ball game. I think it's very close to the middle. I think, again, AI is an S-curve. We might be in the middle of that S-curve in the digestion phase.
Who is NVIDIA's biggest competitor at this point?
I have to say China. I think China remains the one unpredictable variable in NVIDIA's story. I mean, its importance is shrinking. I will give it credit. Jensen's done a great job with deleveraging themselves from that whole market. And everything NVIDIA produces outside of China is still being absorbed by all the hyperscalers, the sovereign AI projects, and the cloud infrastructures across the US, Europe, and Middle East. But if that part of their business opens up again, it would be substantial. And I think that a lot of the narrative on China becoming an NVIDIA product will start diminishing, because we do think that's nonsense. It's a lot more noise, and it's not a real competition. But the market thinks that at times.
Okay, you mentioned at the top of the interview about the potential for an AI bubble bursting. It doesn't sound like you're in the bubble camp, but if this is a bubble, what would bursting look like?
It would be drastic, because there is a lot of intertwining that's happening. There's less competition. I think you're seeing everything that's happening in AI utility deals. I'm talking the Irons, I'm talking the CoreWeaves, I'm talking the Nebuses with the hyperscalers. OpenAI has brute forced their way into becoming the middle of all these, the $1 trillion spending that's happening across so many different hyperscalers. I think that they're just all becoming so cozy with one another that if one major player fails, like an OpenAI, for example, like they still aren't profitable. They still want to spend $1 trillion. I think there's a lot of demand on selling their debt in order to get there. I think that's going to be totally fine. And when they do, they could probably flip a switch to become profitable. They might be the world's first $1 trillion IPO. And I do believe that it's going to be a hyperscaler one day. But if there is one pocket to call where the AI bubble will burst and it's going to hit the hardest, it's going to be in the neo clouds. It's going to be in these the open AI financial engineering that's been being had. But again, I do think that when you talk about bubble, it's always referenced towards the internet bubble naturally. And I think that period was driven by a lot of speculation in companies with low, no revenue, where this AI build out is being led by some of the most profitable companies in history. And as of right now, the constraint is physical. It's not psychological. And I think that limiting factor is going to help the bubble conversation, because we just cannot hit our AI demand capacity until we fit the computational need that the world is not ready for yet.
Your team actually flagged 10 small and mid-cap names that could surprise to the upside or be surprise winners of the AI build out. Fill us in on some of those names and really what's kind of the common thread among them.
Yeah, so the new economics of this AI utility trend is cost of power. Whoever can deliver the most cost affordable for the actual power that the data centers need. And that's why Iron Limited, they have the best economics for that. I think it's 3.5 cents a kilowatt. Like, it's the best pricing for that. Then you also have Cypher. Cypher is another favorite of ours. We like to treat them as like the REIT for the data AI utility name, because they kind of hire a lot of the land that's required. And also Nebius. I think Nebius is kind of that new age cloud. Like, a lot of people call them the neo cloud, but they are the AI cloud built for this era. So I think that a lot of times that people think about the space in a poor light, because 2 years ago there were a lot of miners, like they were just Bitcoin miners. But fortunate enough for them, they got all the land, they got all the power, because they had that crypto lens to them. But that crypto lens can be correlated with the AI lens now via data centers. And I think that they're turning that capital into computation faster than any company can, which results in these hyperscalers wanting to do these deals with them because they just need the power, they need the land as quickly as possible, and they could probably do it themselves, but the amount of AI demand there is out there right now, they just don't have the luxury to wait to do it themselves. They have to go external, and these companies are benefiting from that right now for this moment.
All right, we'll leave it there. We appreciate your picks and your insights, Shay Bolooor. Thanks so much, Futurum Group.